My brother-in-law confessed feelings for me after I went wedding dress shopping with his fiance. This just happened today and I'm using a throwaway because I promote my small business on my main and I want to be anonymous with this. Okay, I'm pretty overwhelmed, so I'll start with some background. I have been with my husband for 5 years, we've been married for 2. Since early on in the relationship, I've been great friends with his older brother, partially because I always wanted one. When he started dating a girl about 2 years ago, I went out of my way to make sure she knew she had a friend in me if she wanted, since we're the only girls in the family. We're great friends now, and since they got engaged 3 months ago, I have been helping with wedding planning and was asked to be a bridesmaid. We went dress shopping today and had a blast. We went to brunch, had some mimosas, found the dress, and went back to their house to celebrate. I ended up alone in the kitchen with my brother-in-law a bit after being there, and he said he just had to tell me something before it kept eating at him. I was a little buzzed and confused but was not at all expecting him to say what he did. I think I've had feelings for you for a few years and I've never been able to tell you and just needed to know if you ever felt the same. I completely froze and just shook my head. I told him that no, I have never thought about him in any way other than a friend and a brother, and I never would. Before he said anything else, I bolted back to his fiancée and the other girls there and very discreetly told her I got my period and wasn't feeling well and would have someone come get me and then come by soon for more wedding planning. She thought nothing of it and I called my best friend to come get me. She dropped me off at home. My husband is working right now and there is no question that I am going to tell him as soon as he gets home. But I just have no idea where to go from there. Do I tell his fiancée? Do I make him tell her? Do I leave it? Do I have my husband talk to him? Has anyone ever had something like this happen or have any advice? Anything is appreciated. Update. Thanks to everyone who helped calm my panicked mind after my original post. I didn't want to tell me husband we need to talk while he was still at work and make him panic, so having some reassurance from here was really helpful. I also noticed a lot of people asking for an update, so here is one that even I was shocked by as I lived it. It's not exactly the earth-shattering blow-up most people thought it would be. My husband came home and he immediately knew I had something on my mind. I explained the whole thing and he was livid at his brother. Thankfully he gave me a hug and I broke down crying from the stress. He assured me I did everything right and it wasn't my fault. After that, he went to call his brother and tell him that he knew what happened and wanted to talk to him one-on-one. Well, it turns out that his brother and fiancé were already on their way to our house to talk about it. As soon as the other girls left, not long after me, my BIL confessed everything to her. First she slapped him, deserved. But after they talked and he promised her that his feelings for her were genuine, she said that he needed to apologize to me and his brother and then they could go from there. So they came over and he and my husband went and talked, while I talked with his fiancé. We both cried and talked for about an hour. I promised her I never had any feelings for him and had no idea he ever had any for me. Apparently she had caught him gazing at me on a family vacation once and thought maybe he had some attraction to me, so while this sucked, she felt some relief that she wasn't crazy for thinking it. He admitted she was right and thinks his feelings at one point were out of jealousy that his younger brother was further in life than him, and he attributed that to me in a way. This was new to him as the older brother and they really hadn't compared each other much growing up just because they had vastly different paths. It was little apples to oranges. But now there was some perceived competition on a similar playing field. The feelings had faded, but when she came home saying she found a dress, he felt an urge to come clean and he wished he had said it differently or worked through it with some help before to actually understand what the feelings were before making this whole mess. I don't know about all that, but I guess I could understand it with a more clear head. I mean, if the Oedipus complex can be a thing, then I can see him having some complex feelings that manifested as attraction, but didn't affect his love for his fiancée. This all happened in one night and he was visibly distressed over it, so I'd find it hard to believe he could weave a whole story like that, so I'm inclined to believe him. Once my husband and his brother came back to the living room, my BIL looked like a puppy who just got in trouble. Also looked a little roughed up, but I didn't question it. We all talked, and he apologized to me for putting me in this position. Where it landed, their wedding is on hold privately while they figure out next steps. Thankfully there was nothing booked and no dates sent out. We had gone wedding dress shopping just to get an idea, and it was just luck that she fell in love with the dress. They are going to go to couples therapy to decide if and how they can move past this. There is clear love between the two. Things will be tense, but I think he feels genuine remorse, and my potential SIL says she holds no ill will against me, and if they move forward, she'd still love to have me as a bridesmaid if I'm willing. My husband and his brother have some serious work to do on their relationship, and my friendship with my BIL will never be the same again, but we'll see what happens from here. We've also agreed to keep this between the 4 of us. But they will be honest that they're doing some premarital counseling before setting dates or full-on planning. I saw a lot of comments telling me to keep my mouth shut and no harm was done. While I guess I can see your point, I just couldn't imagine keeping something like this from my husband. Especially if it came out later, and he found out I withheld it. Trust is huge in our partnership, and even just omission feels like a betrayal of that. Sure, I knew this could blow up if I let it out, but it would be my BIL's fault, not mine. He had all control over telling me what he did. Thanks to everyone who helped me through that scary processing time alone. Update 2. I wanted to address a couple common responses I've been seeing here and give another next day update. To everyone telling me to not tell anyone, or give him a mulligan, that was never an option to me. My husband and I are a team and we don't keep secrets, only surprises. It's something we agreed on before getting married. If I didn't tell him and it came out later, it's as good as me lying to his face. I did nothing wrong and I know my husband would stand by me, so that just wasn't an option I was willing to consider. To all the claims that I'd be blowing up multiple families, I'm not the one who confessed feelings. He opened this can of worms and it's not my responsibility to keep this secret. If this does blow up his relationship or his family, that's all on him. Not me. There were a lot of other common themes in here, but those two were very prevalent and I wanted to dispel them. So for this small update, my husband actually called his brother today and asked if he wanted to go to one of their favorite bars to watch the game together today, something pretty common for them or all four of us to do, before all this. My BIL was shocked, but agreed. Shortly after, his fiancée called me and asked if she could come over while they were gone. She was honest and said it might be awkward, but we would do this a lot and either do some DIY together, get a puzzle out, or watch movies together. She wanted to see if I'd be open to keeping this up as long as we were both comfortable with it while they work their things out so our relationship doesn't deteriorate. It meant the world to me and I said of course. All four of us agreed that they, BIL and fiancé, would start seeing a couples therapist ASAP, and my BIL would see one on his own. Until they get a better grasp on what his feelings were/are and their own plan, we won't get all four of us together and Bill and I will not be alone together. My potential SIL is one of the most level-headed people I've ever met, and so kind-hearted. My BIL used to have a lot of walls up that she broke down pretty naturally, and this is so out of character for him. His proposal to her was so well-planned and thoughtful and tailored to her down to the smallest detail. He picked her a new outfit, had the perfect ring, even the blanket at the setting was her favorite color, a detail he did intentionally, and he had even arranged to have her parents there who live hours away. It's clear that he loves her. And I truly don't think that even if I did say yes, he would not leave her to be with me. Not that it would have been an option. I truly see a road forward for them and all of us. We're all committed to finding the best outcome for everyone involved. My marriage is solid, and we have our marriage maintenance couples therapy appointment coming up soon anyway, so we'll check in with an outside opinion, but I'm not worried. They are going to a consult with a therapist at the same practice in just a couple days. It obviously won't be a quick and smooth fix, as this was fucked up, but I'm much more optimistic than many comments here and wanted to share.